Hey traders, this is Jeff. I am back from vacation. I apologize, the posting has been a little light, but just don't have the time when you're on vacation. And I realized that season's about over, but I want to give you guys some advice if you've got teenage daughters and you plan on going, or sons for that matter, and you're going to be going on vacation. Tell them to leave the cell phones at home. Uh, it's just a problem these days, I think, and not just in teenagers but adults as well. I think people just use their phones way too much. That's just my personal opinion. Another matter of housekeeping, we're going, Karen, who writes on the blog, she does the astrology. She's going to be launching her astrology traders subscription service tomorrow. So for those of you who are interested in her stuff as well, we're going to be launching that tomorrow. Now, the charts, what I am seeing in the markets, I did re-enter some shorts on Friday, half positions, and having looked at the charts over the weekend, I'm starting to think I may be a bit too early. I'm seeing flags everywhere, and I think it's actually to the point where here's my 2 cents on flags. Generally, the trend that's in place, they'll break to the downside unless it's too obvious, and then there'll be a reaction, a counter trend, and then eventually the major trend, which is just too strong, generally reemerges. And better be able to illustrate this point as we go. Here's a chart of the 60 minutes on the Dow Jones, and these are the boundary lines that I'm watching for. There's nothing bullish about this chart. I know a lot of people got excited about the rally on Friday, but it didn't really impress me at all, and all of my indicators are still firmly bearish. I do suspect, though, we're going to get a little upwards, and I haven't checked the futures yet, but barring any major collapse in that, I think we're going to maybe slightly move up for a couple days this week and maybe surprise some of the bears, and this is going to be me as well. But these are the boundary lines that I'm watching. If we break above here, the next resistance will be here. If we break above here, we're probably going to go up for a little ways. Nothing that's going to make me get all excited. If my market timing signal changes, then I will flip bullish. But I'm just not seeing anything in terms of individual stocks setting up. My scans are returning zero results. Corn is one of the best looking charts out there, and I'm a little suspect of that chart. Here's my boundary lines on the TSX that I'm watching. A break below here will most likely send us back down to retest. The TSX is a little bit weaker than the Dow and the Nasdaq. Here's a flag that I'm watching on the VIX, and the longer this goes on, the more likely I think that the VIX is just going to run out of steam, and it's going to maybe go back down in the 20s, maybe the low 20s, which again would push the market higher. Here is a daily of the SPX. You can see this flag, this wedge, whatever you want to call it. It's kind of more of a wedge, but when you look at some of the smaller term charts, or like here's a flag. This is a Nasdaq 100 percentage of stocks above their 50-day moving average. This has been consolidating down in this really negative level below 20, and it can stay down here for a while. You can see here that it stayed down here for 2 months, and we've been down here for pretty much all of August. So it's not to say that it couldn't stay down here longer. I just think that maybe we're going to go up like it did here and then come back down. That's kind of what I'm watching. Same thing here with the Nasdaq 10-day. Here's a little bit of a flag or a wedge, however you want to. And here's I just briefly looked through all my sector charts, and they're all looking pretty much like this consolidation, and generally I would expect it to break to the downside, but I think it's going to fool some people, and like I said, myself included. So that's kind of what I'm watching, but overall I am still bearish, and it's going to be a very short-term move up, I think.